Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to discuss a part 2 of a Metasploit framework. We will continue previous session same. So we will start the session. Today we are going to discuss installation of Metasploit framework in your Kali Linux and your what are the components having and what are the inbuilt features having in a Metasploit framework. We are going to discuss today. This is a short video. We will start the session today. Metasploit frame components. What are the components of a Metasploit? First we need to know what is the history of a Metasploit framework. It was started a network security game by four core developers created by HD Moore in 2003, and the further versions has been came in 2004 in Metasploit 2.0 version, and 2007 3.0 version is there, and freezing tools unable to discover a software vulnerability. I know you are cleared with your freezing tools. Means basically a freezing tool means finding the bugs or the security issues, sending the random inputs, waiting for the crash. Whether the system is going to be crash or not, it's sending a random inputs for the website. For testing purpose, we are going to use this on a website. And 2019 Metasploit acquired by Rapid7, and we are present now. We are advanced. We are using Metasploit Pro and framework Express. In the version of the 5th version we are using now. What are the features? Some features having in the previous and now for the 5th generation. Storing data in the local database. Yes, it stores the local database data in the local database. Basically in the practical we are going to use workspace and installation of PostgreSQL, because it stores the data. For storing the data we are going to install, and we are going to install a workspace also. In the practical session we are going to see an HTTP based on data services. Already you know, I think, your aviation modules. Basically aviation modules used for bypassing the technique of security devices like IDS, IPS, firewalls. This module helps for bypassing the securities, and it's an API program interface. Easy scaling R-host means basically R-host, you know that in the previous class I already told L-host and R-host. R-host means target IP address. L-host means your IP address. Whatever the attacker using, suppose if you are an attacker, your IP address is to be L-host. If you want to target one organization or one system, is called R-host, means the target IP address is called R-host. The ability of backend shell sessions. Basically in background you can keep a multiple shells for your if you want to do hacking of using another shell, you can use, you can keep the shell background. These are the things can be supported. And what do you mean by Ruby? Can anyone heard the name of Ruby? I think you are familiar with Java, Python, C, C++, and some other shell code and shell scripting. But this Ruby language is something different. A Ruby language is a creation of Metasploit framework. We are using a Ruby language. Basically it's an interpreted language. Basically it's not a compiled, it's an interpreted language. I think you are know the differences between interpreted and compilation. Basically compilation run the whole the code, and whatever the errors are there, it will show in the end of the execution. But this interpreter means every line it will check. If the any error, it will stop there only, it will not execute further lines. I think it's clear. Next I'm going with next slide. Basically whatever the content having Ruby language is called here, we are presented here a simple index, and it's an object oriented features like special objective for features also is available in this Ruby language. This is all things you need to know what is Ruby language and how the advantages are having in this Ruby language. You need to work on this and you need to read this for your examination. These are the structure. Now we came to a new interesting topic. What is the structure of an MSF Metasploit framework? This is a structure. Just note it down. Just note it down. Yeah. These are the libraries. Rex, framework core, framework base, and protocol tools and custom tools, interfaces and modules. We are going to discuss each and everything in the slides. For the slides, let us start with Rex. I think the slide is clear. Rex is a basically Ruby extension library. What do you mean by extension? Means extra functionalities or extra libraries. Ruby is an extension library. The basically library for the most task handle almost core functions. Rex will almost handles core functions, and the Rex is the most fundamental component for the entire framework architecture. It is the most fundamental component of an architecture, and it will handle the functionalities like assembly. I think you are clear with assembly. Assembly is basically converting human readable format to a machine readable language. Suppose if I am talking to the computer system, it can't be understand. If you are talking with the human, it can be understand, but computer can't understand. So what the assembly will do? It will convert to the human readable format to machine binary language. Simple. Next, encoding. Encoding means for transforming the data into another format. Basically, it is used for bypassing the filters. Means like firewall, we are going to use this. If the firewall is there in the target system, it can be detect the payload and it will stop. If you are doing encoding, it can't be detect. It will think like it's coming from trustable source. Next, jobs. Jobs means background a multiple task and exploit and payloads and run the same time, because basically it will run all the same times at a time. Payloads, modules, auxiliaries, everything it will run in a similar time. And logging means basically if you are on a SOC team, if you are learning in a SOC team, you got to know logging. Recording keep a tracking what the happening in the system, means events and logs. We are going to analyze this. Next, and post exploitation. Already you know post exploitation. For admin access we are going to do post exploitation. And protocols, why we use protocols? For communication purpose between server and user, we are using protocols. Services and sockets, and synchronization. Basically synchronization prevents the attacking and errors. Means MSF core, it's provide a basic API, consists of various subsystems. Yes, it's having some subsystems such as module management, session management, and event dispatching, etc. It consists of data store and event notification and frame manager. It will consist this. Next, I am going with further MSF base. MSF base basically built on the top of the MSF core and provides interface, making it easy to deal with MSF core library. It provides a simplified API. It consists of configuration maintenance. It having configuration maintenance, precise configurations like obtaining information about security of installation, such as root directories and all. Next point is logging and maintain. Earlier MSF provides extension flexible logging support. It's using for flexible logging purpose. And the third point you are going to read by yourself. Next I am going with plugins. Basically plugins to maintain a whole framework. Plugins hooks like an event subsystem. Basically it's an event subsystem for automating specific tasks. Basically it's using for automating specific tasks. And also it is used for adding new console command. Next is mixins. Mixins includes the class one class into another class. Basically it works on a one class into another class. These both difference are similar and familiar. Mix can override the a class method. It's come to, inbuilt features comes under like protocols, behavior, connecting and all. And data store and variable, basically where the data is going to be stored in the Metasploit framework. We are going to install, already I told you, PostgreSQL we are going to install. Basically data stores are two types: global store and module store. Data store, it define a global store option for use tech, and all modules will be available using the data store option. The define modules are data store option used to set only modules that you can define data store option you can use the achieved. This is the main important slide. rhost, lhost, lport and rport. Basically rhost means target IP address, the organization or system of you are going to target some other particular thing, that IP address. lhost means your IP address, if you are an attacker, your IP address, attacker IP address. rport means the target port, which port is you are going to access. lport is your port. Means basically Metasploit framework is a CLI. What do you mean by CLI? Command line interface. It's a command line interface framework, supportive launching exploits and auxiliary modules, useful for specific tasks, converting use of testing and developer new exploits. It's a wonderful CLI. These are the what are the components of a Metasploit framework is comes under these auxiliaries. Components are this: auxiliaries, payloads, exploits and encoders, knobs, post and aviations. Basically already you know auxiliaries used for reconnaissance, you are gathering information, and payload used for it's a piece of code runs through the exploit. Means if you are sending the payload to the target system, it will give the connection, reverse connection, and it gives the exploits. And what do you mean by exploits? Basically if the payload is going to run, then it will activate the exploits. You going to gather all the information and all the things from using exploitation. Encoders, why already in the previous slide I told you, encoders used for bypassing IDS and IPS as security devices. And post exploitation, we are going to get it for admin access. And knobs are used for no operation. When if you are an attacker, you are going to inject the shell code in the programming, we use knobs. At that time we are going to use knobs. Same aviation also, it's a technical tool for bypassing. Now we are going to go for installation part of your Kali Linux. Yeah, this is my Kali. I am going to install first of all, whenever you are going to install something in your Kali Linux, first thing you have to do sudo super user apt update. Yeah, you are going to update it, and once you get updation, then what you are going to do, sudo apt. Sudo means super user. If you are in a cybersecurity student, you get to know what is sudo. Install Metasploit framework. Yeah, run, enter. This is a command. Already I have an Metasploit framework, that's why it's showing like this. You need to install. This is a command for installation, and I'll clean this. Next, sudo. You are going to install PostgreSQL. Already I told you, for data, storing the data in your local system, we are using this PostgreSQL sudo super user apt install PostgreSQL. It's already installed. In the previous class I have installed everything, and now you are going to start your PostgreSQL. What you will do is to do system ctl enable. Now this is the command for starting. Now it's started. Now you are going to see the status. It's already activated. Our PostgreSQL is activated. Basically it's for storing the data. I'm saying again, it's storing the data. Whatever your things you are doing in your Metasploit framework, it will store the data, all the data in this PostgreSQL. Now you need to combine, connect the PostgreSQL to your Metasploit framework. How you are going to use? You are going to start your database first. Sudo msfdb init. This is a command for starting. Your database already started. My database already started. How you are connecting this MSF console? You need to start your framework first. My Metasploit framework has been started. I'm going to check whether the connecting of PostgreSQL is there or not. db status means whether the database is connected or not. It's connected. If there is no connection, you need to connect database to your PostgreSQL using this same command. Start. You need to because use start instead of status. Done with this. Next class we are going to exploit each and everything using Metasploit framework of Metasploitable 2 open ports. We are using this Metasploit framework and we are going to exploit. Continue the series.